everybody. It's Karan Ashley. You are watching the BOP, the Blurred official podcast. We are so happy you are here. We are here with you, and we are just kind of excited. We have been so busy, and it's been very hard for us to podcast, but we have been able to show up and do a few shows, and we are super excited to reconnect with our audience because we've missed you, and I hope you've missed us. And me and Hilton are here. Hilton George, how are you? How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Enjoying the heat wave minus the floods. God bless everybody going through the weather struggle because it's crazy out there. It's like every drop of rain is a flood or a mudslide or just it's terrible out there for some.
Crazy.
But, you know, it's been pretty decent over here on the East Coast in D.C. area. So, yeah, we've been having a good time, enjoying ourselves.
Good.
But we have been working. We've been on the road. It's been crazy. Y'all don't understand.
I don't think they understand. Like, we are nonstop. I mean, they know I do 1 million Comic-Cons, but Hilton does 1 million Comic-Cons as well because he is promoting his show nonstop, BlurredCon. And I mean, I just came off of doing my show, my last Ranger. Well, it's not my last Ranger.
The last Ranger
stuff. The last one
that you run. Right.
Now I'm like a consultant, which is very nice. You know, it's very nice, and
it's in capable hands. That you were very thoughtful.
Yes,
looking like some guy came in with a big old sack of money and schmeckles, and she just ran with it. They vetted, they talked, they met, they went back and forth exhaustively. So any of you guys who are fans of the show, trust me, the tradition will continue.
It will. It'll continue. And shout out to Brett, who is the owner of Toylanta and the owner of Jolanta, and now the owner of Ranger Stop and Pop. He is going to continue the legacy, and it's going to be amazing. And
I popped up because Hilton feels.
I was like, what happened? I was like, waiting. I was like, maybe he'll come back.
Speak, and I was just like waiting, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to come back.
Right.
Because we don't want to keep him on screen like this.
I know, the worst. It always is the worst. It's never the cute, like, it's always the worst. The worst facial expression you could possibly make. I'm eating my London. It's like a Laffy Taffy, but it's like the London.
Okay.
So eating Toylanta, and you know what? Shout out to Brett, who is the owner of Toylanta and is the owner of Jolanta, and now the proud owner of Ranger Stop and Pop. And I'm super excited. Yeah, no, I'm super. You know what? It actually made it like I thought when we were like, oh, we're going to sell the show. I was going to be bittersweet. I was going to be emotional, and obviously I was emotional because there's a part of me that's not.
It's your baby
all year. Yeah, right. But I was like, it's still here. It's still going to be around. The fans were so happy when the word got out. We announced it at the VIP dinner. And so it was great. And it was, I'm just super happy to see it live on.
Which I thought was brilliantly done. You guys did this cool thing. You guys weren't there, but I knew that there was a sale that was going to be announced, and I had met the guy, and I knew everything was in good hands.
Yes.
But they let all of these people come in, and there was like this air of melancholy through all the fun because they're like, this is going to be the last one. And I don't know where I'm going to go to get to. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And I was about to like spill the beans in the middle of it. I think it was like Dana or somebody was like, we're going to surprise. I was like, oh. And then when the surprise came, like everybody was like, rah.
Yeah. And it was perfect. And we you know what, we care about our fans so much that's the whole reason why we even entertained like selling it. Like we were like, okay, it's over. We're going to go on and it'll be, and they literally were like, oh my gosh. And we were like, and then we just thought about it as a business, from a business standpoint, like it doesn't have to end. Like people literally started messaging us the minute we said we were going to end it. I heard from at least 5 different promoters, and they were like, well, what are you going to do with it? You selling it? Well, what are you going to do? And I go, oh, hold on. Let us get our business together so that we can
slow down.
But we had, it was a multiple offer situation, thank God. And we just really went with the person we thought was the best. So.
And that was what I was so pleased to hear, is that you actually felt like what you had built was in good hands, which doesn't happen every time. Cons do one of two things. Either they get sold, they become like real estate, and that hostile takeover, break it up, rebrand it, whatever, or they just die on the vine. Like just it happens one year and then nobody picks up the ball for the next year, and it's 2 years down the road before people go, hey, whatever happened to
what happened?
And this didn't go that way. This is always going to be there. And I would imagine this would be like watching your kid go from high school to college. Like you got to wait, but college is just around the corner and down the street like 5 miles. It's not. You'll still get to see it. You get to hang out. You'll still
I'll
get
be
to
there
be
next
there.
year.
But you won't have to build it
out.
And I met Brett. He's a good guy. Like he really enjoys what he does, which I know is so necessary in making a good con and building community. So it was really nice to meet this guy and not see some stodgy cigar chomping guy who's
right.
You're
right. I've seen so many shows get sold and they become a corporation and there's no heart. It's just a machine and it's just, give me your ticket money. Here's some celebs, spend. Like he wants it to be as personable, and he was there the whole weekend and he wants it to feel the same way. So luckily, I think it's in good hands. So, but yay. But going back to the fact that we've just been booked and busy, that's all been happening. That's why we haven't been here.
Yes.
And we couldn't, we've just had so much going on that now we're finally here. We can talk, but there have been a lot of things we didn't even get to cover. And I feel like it needs our attention. Like we just left, like people were like, what is your review on this? And what is your review on that? And I was like, I have total opinions, but we haven't had time to talk. We haven't had time to get together. So some of this stuff, came out a while ago, but it's okay because we'll talk about it. And I just feel like we're huge fans of the MCU, and there's just been so many things that have hit in the last 6 months. And it's all like at the end of the day, they all tie together. And we know we're going to get this mega movie with Dr. Doom, and we're going to get all these characters, and we're going to get all these people, and it's all going to come together in some sort of way. And then we've got the Young Avengers coming, and and it's like, it's one of those things where it's like we're in the middle of that shift. The MCU always takes a shift almost every 10 years, and they kind of shift you in a different direction. So one of the things that came out, Dana and I had a chance to talk about it, but you and I didn't have a chance to talk about it. And I was dying to get your feedback on this, was Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts came out. It was a huge movie. It had all the promotion that I wish that Ironheart had.
Right.
But it ended up being, for me, I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it for reasons I didn't think I would enjoy it for. Like I was thinking, okay, we're going to get a superhero movie and it's going to be, these rejects that have been bad guys at one point, but now they're kind of good guys and they've had these, epiphanies, and we got all that, but we also got a lot of heart. We got a lot of, they kept it real. Like if you were honestly a human being that got special abilities and you were thrown into these worlds and in these situations, you wouldn't come out unscathed. You're still human. There's still a part of you that is still emotional. You wouldn't come out unscathed. You would have all this almost trauma, PTSD, and you wouldn't know what to do with it, and that's what Thunderbolts was. It was a movie where all of these people, like I said, had been bad characters, but they had redemption. This was their redemption story, I guess. And they were even learning how to redeem or learn to forgive themselves or learning how to move on. And it was so, I really enjoyed it for that reason, because again, characters I never thought I would love, I loved. Like they always trick me. MCU tricks me into loving characters I could care less about, and all of a sudden I get a TV series, and now all of a sudden I love them and I care about them and I need to know more. What were your thoughts? Because I know you are huge on comic book canon. You're huge on all, like you have a deeper understanding of this. Like you've got 10, 15 years of reading comic books that I don't have. So it was an interesting take, right?
Listen, I when they announced that Thunderbolts was going to come out, I knew it was going to be a daunting task, because on the surface you have basically a Suicide Squad style theme without James Gunn to pull it off. And he pulled it off because he's James Gunn, and I don't think anybody else could have pulled off that particular property, Suicide Squad, with not being James Gunn, because he is so good
at
character stories
yes.
and telling stories that introduce new characters, like he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is kind of that same format of a bunch of characters nobody ever heard about.
They end up being one of my favorite movies, like my favorite teams, and I'm like,
and the favorite trilogy. I liked it almost as much as I liked the Iron Man trilogy.
Yeah,
they were just that well developed as characters, even through Endgame and Infinity War. So you're walking in on this, and there's a lot of unknowns. We know that I think it was Svetlana. I can't pronounce the name right, but she is the new Black Widow per se.
Yes,
who's doing very nefarious bad things. She's killing people and blowing up stuff, and she's basically an assassin, killer for hire, that kind of thing. And then you have all of these people who are coming together, who are all under, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, who we met in Secret Invasion, who we met. DeFontaine, not Fontaine. DeFontaine. Right. So we're getting this character that we kind of know. And we're getting the Red Guardian that we kind of know. And we're getting the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, that we kind of know, who's now a congressman. But they're kind of just thrust into this world. We're kind of dropped into this world where, there's cover-ups and there's, hearings, and there's a surprise, super powered person that just kind of comes out of nowhere. And the unifying theme is trauma and mental illness. And it almost becomes the villain, almost literally becomes the villain. Big Bad is in the Void. The Void is, so let's just back up. The Sentry is introduced in this film.
Yes.
This movie's been out long enough not to worry about spoilers. The Sentry is introduced in this film. This is the Marvel version of Superman. He is super strong, super powerful, stronger than anybody. The guy has done amazing, ridiculous feats of strength and speed and power in the Marvel universe, and now he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe being introduced. He is created in a semi-super soldier program that was very nefarious, killed a lot of people, caused a lot of damage.
Threw his ass away.
And threw him away, and he managed to escape by interacting or crossing paths with this group of people. He doesn't really know who he is, doesn't have a whole lot of memory. Which is kind of the plot device. He becomes the character that we all love and care about instantly, because he's comedy relief and he's ominous. And then he turns into being, dangerous and deadly and the villain. He manages to occupy so many seats.
Yes.
But it's such a well-told story, and it has so much care put into the script. The placement of even characters I don't care about. That I'm just like, they killed off the Taskmaster in a very unceremonious way that I was not happy with.
I know.
That's the only my only ding in the movie is that, like, really?
Yeah, I was like, why? Like, because she wasn't available, or what? I mean, it was like she was in it, then she wasn't in it, and then it
just seemed weird. It was like, and there was a lot of things like, one, the Taskmaster would never get taken out that way. This is supposed to be like one of the greatest physical fighters and tacticians in the Marvel universe, and and your helmet's not bulletproof. What's going on? Anyway, that's a whole other tangent.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, like, come on, y'all.
Whole other show.
Whole other. We're gonna let him make it on that.
But I love the evolution of Bob. I don't have the character's name from it, but this is the son of Pullman, who played the president in Independence Day.
Yes.
And he looks freakishly like.
They are just alike. The same face, young and old. And I had no idea. Same face, young and old.
And you're just like, okay, like I see it, I hear it in the voice.
Yes.
But he just plays such an innocent character, and he does such a great job of encapsulating, this traumatized child. We get to go into the Void, which is basically this, psychological dimension where you get confronted by all of your trauma and your fears, and it's heart-wrenching watching his part of that.
Yeah.
Svetlana, walks us through hers in her own way. She's narrating.
Elena.
She's Elena. Thank you. Is the narrator. So we're already knowing where she's coming from as a character, but discovering where he went and how to save him and how that would save the world, ending up being, what saves the world. It was just so well done. Everyone who's seen it has loved that aspect of it. Taking these characters that are not Thor and Iron Man and the Hulk and putting them in this position to become what is now the new Avengers is just brilliant. And it has probably one of the most telling and significant post-credit scenes of any MCU movie ever.
It does. It was the longest one. Yeah.
Yes, and plays right into the upcoming movie, The Fantastic Four. So if you haven't seen it, it's going to be, if it's not already on Disney Plus, it'll be there in like 5 minutes.
It will be there. This is a promo for you to watch it because it's coming very soon.
Definitely worth the watch.
And it was
you will beautiful. Cry. And listen, I'm just the scene. The scene. Daddy, I'm so alone.
Yeah.
You're just like, the whole movie just collapses on that.
You know why? I like, this is the thing. With all the Avenger movies and all the MCU, like, we're bang, 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 blow it up, flip, fight. Like, we're so accustomed to this, like, battle, and it's not that they don't have that. They have a lot of stunts and a lot of cool stuff. But what this movie did was the way they won was through the heart. The way they won was through love, and the way they won was to because the Void was gonna kill him. Like, he was gonna take them all. There's no ins and outs. There's no way of beating this thing. So, Yelena, she had gone through losing her sister, losing, and that's the thing. Just because she went through it in, the miniseries that they had on Disney Plus, I can't even think of the name, but
Hawkeye.
Yes, Hawkeye. She's gone through it in that, but it's like grief is a 50-step process, and it was so real. And like, the reality of what I think it showed is that every single person has some sort of mental health issue, some kind of way. Like, you might have anxiety, you may have depression, you may suffer from intense grief, you may, just the pressures of life. Like, it just wears you down. And all of these characters have been heroes, and they all have had big falls. And so here we are, a group of misfits that are still, like, Bucky is still dealing with they used him. They used him, Bucky Barnes was used and abused, and he lost his best friend. And it's just so much that they've gone through, but he's still dealing with it. And that's kind of real. Like, I think that's why audiences actually love this movie, because it was real.
You can relate to the characters in a weird way. These are supers. And you're like, I kind of know where you're coming from. I know there's people who have, if you haven't gone through it, you've witnessed it, depression and dissociation. And watching that play out in the midst of a superhero story plot is new, and it's bold and it's original. And I think it's been rewarded at the box office and will be in, how it's regarded in the MCU going forward.
Totally. And I want to give a shout out to David Harbour, who I love from Stranger Things, but he was so funny in this movie. He was literally funny when we needed him to be funny. Like, it would be so deep at times, and then he would say something, and it would just, like, you would just start dying laughing when you were, like, crying. Like, he just is so good, and Yelena was so good. And like you said, it's a lot of characters that we've known through all these other series. You get the U.S. agent, you're getting Bucky Barnes, you're getting Wendell Pierce, shout out to him, he's the congressman. You're getting, we've met, like you said, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, we met her in Wakanda Forever. We're just really getting a whole, like, it's almost like it was a new way to introduce this team, but it's also a new way to show the direction in which they're going with all these new characters. And I love that they're so human. Like, these characters aren't, like you said, they're not the Hulk, they're not Iron Man, they're not these things yet. They kind of are very human. And like, there was a scene where they're like, We don't have the Hulk. We don't have, like, they literally talk about it. They're like, who's going to save the day? The Avengers are not coming. We got to do it. And we're not them. We're not strong enough.
All we do, everybody here just punches and shoots. Okay. Like, nobody flies. Nobody.
But then you realize they didn't need that, you know? And you're right. That end credit scene, they give you a hint. You see that Fantastic Four, you know, spaceship coming, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to figure out where
that is a perfect segue. A perfect segue, because it hasn't come out yet, so we don't really know what we're getting. But I get goosebumps because Fantastic Four and X-Men were what I was raised on as far as comic books. Like the longest runs that I read and followed, like every book. And to see how they have created and generated this this retro futuristic world in the 60s that is not Earth 616, right? That we're getting to know in the trailers, and then to see this Easter egg of their ship coming into Earth's atmosphere, it kind of foretells of a story that hasn't been told yet, but the consequences of that, because Galactus and the Silver Surfer and all of these things are huge, iconic tent poles of the MCU, and we're finally getting them. Even though Talabal is the Silver Surfer of the story, which I think I'm not worried too much about, because I think we're not going to see this iteration of the Silver Surfer beyond this movie, and I think there will be reasons for that. Right. But it's the world that I have seen them build with the cast and the acting that I've seen them do in the trailers. Gives me a lot of faith that this movie is going to be huge. It's coming like in a few weeks. It's literally coming. It's the end of this week. It's this coming weekend. I think it's the 25th. So get your tickets. Get them. Karen.
No, we're all going to be. No, I'm going because I will be in Raleigh at a Comic-Con, and there's a whole group of us that are going to be there. And we're like, this is what we're doing Friday night. This is what we're doing. Thursday night if it's available early, but this is what we're doing. Don't even ask no questions.
Oh, I love that 2:30 in the afternoon Thursday show.
Well, I wish. Of course, the con we're going to is a 4-day con, so it starts Thursday. It will be like we're going to be 8 alive by the Comic-Con, but we're going to go Friday night, and we're going to be dead on Saturday morning. But it's worth it. We cannot wait to watch the Fantastic Four. Goosebumps. So I'm so glad you like Thunderbolts. I knew you would. I know you like a deeper story and a deeper characters and deeper meaning. And
I've seen it like 4 times.
Me too.
And it wasn't all on purpose. I saw it twice because I loved it. And then I ended up seeing it another 2 times. Yeah. And it's like every time I watch it, I'm so invested. Yeah. Because again, it's not space aliens flying around. This is ground level storytelling at its best.
And the Void was scary as hell. Like that whole that's his eye. I was like, like that freaked me out. Like that was a very whoever the creative team because they go through all these things where they're like, okay, how is he gonna look at? And they go through all of these things until they land where they land. They landed exactly where they needed to land because it was creepy as fuck.
It was really creepy. I was like, wow.
It was Yeah, if you don't watch the movie for nothing else, if you haven't seen it, like go see it just so you can see what the Void looks like.
Listen, if they had not done what they had done, there wouldn't be an MCU. The Void is that Omega level, power that could have taken over the galaxy.
I just can't wait to see what happens next. Like that's the thing. Like the one thing I will say, like with Thunderbolts, with Ironheart. All the things that they've done is they've left me wanting more. Like, where are we going next? With Agatha already, where are we going next? Because these things are exciting me to the core. I need to know where we go next.
That's what gives me so much faith that this phase is doing well. Because, we are going from one property to the next, waiting anxiously for the next one. And in the previous phase, we weren't getting as much of that. We're like, Secret Invasion. Well, that happened.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. Like, I don't know. But you know what? I guess when you're writing these, if that's the thing I think people don't realize, when you're writing series like this or doing movies like this, it's hard to keep the juices juicing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
especially when they were cranking out at the pace they were.
And I'm kind of glad they've kind of pulled back a little and they're giving themselves a little bit of a breath. And it's not like we're getting something every 3 months. We're getting something every 6 months. It's been good. Now we're kind of getting, like, we got, Thunderbolts, and then we have Ironheart, and then we had Thunderbolts, Daredevil, Ironheart, and now Fantastic Four. But after that, we get a little bit of a break, and then some more stuff's going to flow next year. So it's kind of good. Like, I kind of like it. I kind of like what's happening here. But speaking of Daredevil, we never talked about Daredevil. We had a whole series come out, and I watched it religiously, waiting for us to talk about it. And then we were hit with everything and its mama. Like, we had so much work on our plate that we couldn't even talk about it. So what were your thoughts on Daredevil? Because I know you were watching like me. Like, we were watching every day that it came out. We watched religiously. We did not, like, we were ready to watch. What were your thoughts, Hilton?
Well,
because we've seen Daredevil so many times.
Yeah, you can't lose with this cast, right? Yeah. Everyone is so well cast. That's really key. Wilson Fisk, being played by D'Onofrio, he is just born to succeed in that role. So just watching him, I don't even care what he's saying. He just embodies that energy that just takes over every scene. I like the morphing of him from a perceived kingpin of crime to a mayor who is trying to run the city. Even though it's corruptly running the city, you're still getting to see this other dimension of his psyche and his motivation and his worldview. He's more cruel than he's ever been before. I think they got I don't know if it was a rating waiver or something. There's a lot more blood, a lot more death. It was like
R-rated, right?
This series than there was. Yeah, it wasn't like the first two where it was kind of a little bit more implied, and then it was blood, but it wasn't like all over the place. And now they are killing people left and right, and you're like, oh, they killed him like that. Like, oh, I had hopes for that guy, But I like where the plot is going. I think that the characters have been given a new platform that will ultimately become the Defenders, which is the grassroots neighborhood level crime fighting team where you had Power Man, i.e. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, even Doctor Strange to a lesser degree. So there were the ground level Defenders is something we've been waiting for a long time, but the properties were split up because Netflix and Sony had certain characters, and then but now they're all in one group.
Now they're all together. Finally,
we haven't seen them, but that's the next thing, and they set that up beautifully. So anyone who's been waiting for the Defenders, you got to watch this. It's got so much heart, and it's the motivation of these characters that could so easily be lost over this arc of storytelling that they've had for 10 years is still there. It's brutal. It's controversial. It's got Godfather level storytelling and plot, and you're unfolding they're introducing this person. Oh, that person has the contract for the thing, and it all kind of comes together in that mob style, storytelling. So it's got all of that. So it's necessary. If you go directly into whatever the Defenders is going to be in a year or two and not having seen this, you're not going to know who these characters are because they got all new motivations. They got all new crazy. And they are all next level now from where they were before. So I loved everything about it. I'm glad they went the route they went. It's very bold.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I'll give a shout out. He's in the series and he's a very big part of it. And he actually passed away in real life. It's Kamar de los Reyes, who was he was an excellent actor, and he
was a stunt actor too, right?
Yeah, he was on a soap. He was on One Life to Live back in the day, and he was huge. Like, he came on and he was huge for years, and then of course that soap went under. But he became a stunt actor, and he was doing all kinds of stuff. He'd been in the industry for years, 30 years. And unfortunately he died of cancer, and his wife and his children attended, because this is the one show he shot right before his death. And she said he was so excited to be a part of the MCU. And it was just a terrible, terrible loss to lose him, because his character. Like, I mean, they obviously killed him in this series, but there was a possibility that he would have gone on if he wouldn't have gotten sick. But when they knew he was terminally ill, I think they had to make a decision. But he was so good. And like you said, we've had Daredevil for a while, and we've seen different series from it. And it's been, but I kind of love the revamped version. Like, it almost was, I don't know what Disney Plus, but when they do shows on Disney Plus, it seems like they slow them down just a little bit more. And then they really give you more insight as to the psyche of each of these characters and where they are in their life in this moment, So even though, like Charlie Cox's character, Matt Murdock, you see him, he's going through different things, but it's like you understand him more and what makes him who he is and why he's a hero and why he's like half of the series he's fighting becoming, Daredevil again. Like, he doesn't want to do it anymore. It's been too violent. It's been too, hard on him. And then we get Frank Castle shows up. And I mean, it's just like anytime John
Berkenthal.
Yeah, I can never say his last name. Anytime he shows up in something, Barenthal, he's gonna like wreck the house. Like, he shows up in Daredevil, wrecks the house. He shows up in The Bear, wrecks the house. Like, he is a force. Like, he is like the best character to just show up.
You see him in The Accountant 2.
Yes.
He's just had a run, even his short run in what is it, Walking Dead.
Yes.
He is our generation's yes.
And leaves the character.
He's our generation's John Travolta.
Yes. He's so good. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is, but when he shows up, like, he showed up in The Bear, and I love that. I don't know if you watched The Bear, but I love The Bear. And if you haven't watched it, it is so brilliant, and it's so intense.
For no reason at all.
There's
no reason. All they're doing is cooking.
I literally worked at a restaurant and was waiting tables and like was in a world like this. And I promise you, it doesn't have to be this intense, but it is. And but it comes from trauma. Like, here it is. It's all
the
this
story
trauma.
is back there, and you watch it and you get these flashbacks and you get these scenes and stuff. But like 75% of the show is happening in a restaurant, and people ask, well, what is the show about? I'm like, they're cooking.
They're like, they're like unpacking their life.
Unpacking their lives while they're cooking. There's this relationship with food.
You know what it is? It just goes to show you, when you go through some major things, like when you go through major stuff, as hard as it is, you got to face it. You got to go through the fire you got to go through the storm to get to the rainbow, because the reality is it's going to mess up everything. And in The Bear, it messed, like, he loses his brother, he overdoses on drugs, and he has a mother that has major mental health issues that put them through the ringer, that forced, basically
Jamie Lee Curtis.
She's so
brilliant.
good.
Brilliant.
Anyways, but you see this guy he can't even open up a restaurant. He can't even cook, because every trauma, every ounce of problems just spills out into his life. He can't form friendships. He can't run a business. He can't fall in love. It's just like everything he does is affected by all of this. And John comes in and he plays his brother, and it's literally, it just sends it on his head. But he does the same thing in Daredevil. He shows up.
He shows up like a side character, like Tails in Sonic. He's just there, and the whole everything gets amped up a notch.
Yes, but it pushes Charlie into like, you gotta, like, this is what you've been given. You gotta do it, dude. Like, you can't ignore these powers. You can't ignore it. It was given to you for a reason. And so, I mean, literally, if you don't watch Daredevil for no other reason, you gotta watch it for these actors. Like, they're delivering on all cylinders. Like, the stories.
Now, here's the
cylinders,
and it's pertinent to what we're going through now. This commandeering of a police force and creating this.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of offline Gestapo that is responding to the president or the mayor to carry out these missions that are under the guise of doing something good, but not really, because I'm not good. And it is just that nerve that is exposed in society right now, will resonate with so much that is happening on that screen in that series that it just takes it to another level. You're like, oh my God, I recognize that scenario.
Well, and what it does, this was shot 2 years ago or something. Like it wasn't shot yesterday, right? It was shot forever. Right. So it's almost like art always imitates life, and art always tells the story. Like you watch The Handmaid's Tale came out, and literally art is like, it is telling the story that we knew was coming. Like this is what we knew was gonna come, the evil that lies beneath. And now it's like we're seeing it, and everybody's like, what is happening? This isn't the world I knew. And I go, how did you not know? Because we've always known the evil was there. We always know what they were trying to do. Now that everybody's just, like you said, just doing it out loud. And it's like we're seeing in like live TV horrible things that are happening with ICE and with police and I mean, we're just seeing horrible, horrible things that are happening to humans. And Daredevil, like you said, it's that nerve, that humanity that you're like hoping people have and they don't have. You're just like, it's shocking, but you got to watch it because it's almost like we got to face it. It's like, that's why I think it's so important to tell about history and to know real history, because if you don't face it, how are we not going to ever repeat it? We don't know what we survived,
And this is why this art is so important, because, it does hold a mirror to society, the face of society, us as people in society, in a way that history is not allowed to do because we don't teach history. But we can tell a fantasy story that emulates history in a way that resonates with what the country might be going through right now. Whereas a documentary on the rise of the Third Reich is not going to be something that everyone's going to sit back and watch raptly, even though they don't know who won World War II because they don't know history. It's just interesting watching people watch history, on the edge of their seat, not sure what's going to happen. Like,
you know what it is?
We won that war. Like, why are we?
Right. Well, you know what it is? I think history, that's almost like admitting to yourself, this happened. And these are the ugly atrocities that humans are capable of. And I think a lot of people, can't admit, they can't keep it real. Like they don't want to admit how ugly it is and how brutal and how awful, but they're okay watching a movie where it's brutal, awful, and ugly because it's imagination. But it's like, if you like history, it's such a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. And I think that's where we are, and it's unfortunate because it's like, we need to, the only way you learn is from mistakes. And we've made all the mistakes, guys. We made like brutal, ugly, awful mistakes. And so here we are with a lot of people.
And we are dependent on art to do the work that, government, society, and even politicians and leaders are not doing, to kind of, again, hold that mirror up to society to say, hey, I mean, we're not going to go into it too deep in this show, but that's what's kind of happening with the Superman movie. People are accusing Superman of being woke, and I'm like, why is what is happening is that people are going into that movie, and realizing that they're the villain, and they don't like Superman. And you're sitting there like,
I'm gonna slap you. Can I slap you through this film? Can I slap you?
Something is wrong.
Y'all, like, you're not realizing that you think like the villain.
You're sympathizing with the enemy. You're watching Star Wars and you're thinking, Emperor Palpatine, he's got some good points. And you're wondering what's wrong with the Jedi. And that's where we are as a country when we are confronted with art in a way that history and education does not confront us.
Right.
And that's why you're seeing people who are reacting in this way, specifically to Superman. That metaphor is, it's like he's actually a good person, and he's actually fighting for truth, justice, and humanity, and all of these things. And that bothers you.
Right.
That bothers you. And why does that bother you?
This story has never changed. Like every Superman story, it has never changed. And like, Dean Cain had the nerve to open up his mouth. Like, it's sad. I've met Dean. I know him from cons, and he's been a perfectly nice person, but it's like, you really get insight on how people think and how where people are in their life. And it's so unfortunate. Like I always say, not everybody needs a reality show. Like, we don't need to know the reality on a lot of people, because when you get that reality, you're like,
We are lacking two things. We are lacking empathy.
Yep.
And we are lacking introspection.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
Who have no empathy, who feel like the people who are in the highest need are the problem, and the people who are taking the most are the solution, or the way we all should be, or
this is how it's done right. And it's like,
and that's where people get confronted with who they are, and they never look back at themselves. They have no mirrors in their home. They can't look and see, maybe my thinking on this is wrong, until something happens to them.
And we've been seeing it in real time, where people were like, they are the most evil. They're all, because this is the thing. Now everybody's online. Everybody's, like, people are so in love with videotaping themselves and proclaiming things. So they've got footage of everybody proclaiming all these things, and then all of a sudden they're hit with the flood, or they're hit with their Medicaid being gone, or they're hit with their husband being deported.
I said I was voting for cutting FEMA, and now my house is underwater, and no one's here to help me.
Nobody's coming to help. And they're like crying, like, how are people not helping? And I'm like, and literally the internet always wins, because they will pull that footage of you being evil and being mean and having no empathy, and then show you needing all the empathy, needing all the help, and going, why are you crying? Like, why are you crying?
This is what you voted for.
Karma in real time. Like, it is insane. And it's sad because then it's like you sit here and you don't really feel sorry for them. But it's also like, I feel sorry for people who failed an open book test. Like, we knew what was coming. They told us what was coming, and you still believed it would not happen to you, but you were okay with it coming and happening to others. And that's where it's so, like, it's almost really hard, because it's like I struggle with going, I don't want to think evil thoughts and be like, that's what you get, because that's what you voted for. But then I also don't want to be like, I feel sorry for people who are in distress. I feel sorry for bad things. You have empathy. Happen. I do. And it's like, it's almost like this is the first time in my life that I've had to battle where I'm like, I feel terrible. I feel so much pain right now seeing what's happening and what's unfolding in this world. But I also have a part of me that is like, you voted for this. What are we supposed to do
about it this way? Oh. Think about it this way. I am on a different page. I cheer for the suffering of people who voted for the suffering of others.
Right.
But the caveat is that I know that the pain that they're going through is not just the pain of their situation. Yeah. That is a learning pain. The kind of pain that you feel when you put your hand on the stove. There's no more like powerful pain than learning pain and healing pain, right? Yeah. And so I want you to feel that pain. Yeah. I want you to feel that pain so much that you learn a lesson that you can never revert back from, that you have to wrap your head around this situation, because the revelation of what you're going through has to be painful, because this is how you chose to be. This is now the only way in which you learn. And therefore the pain has to be there in order for you to evolve. So I'm not going to wish for an assuage of your situation or a remedy to your plight. I will sit back and I will enjoy watching you learn, because I know on the other end of this, and this is because you are who you are.
Yeah.
You are the kind of person who can only become a better person after the person you are
learning it the hard way,
broken down or destroyed or suffering so much that you have to look introspectively. Most of us can look around and go, this is wrong, and we can turn around and reverse course. Yeah. Other people are like, well, this is good for me, so screw everybody else. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna shoot holes in your side of the boat because I don't like you. And then
I don't care that I'm in the same boat.
I don't care I'm in the same boat.
And if you sink, okay, but wait, I'm sinking too. I'm sinking.
Wait,
we're
in the same boat.
It's crazy. Like, it is literally crazy to watch, and I am just like, I don't know how to feel. Like, there are days like I'm where you are, where I'm like, you need to feel the pain. That's what you like. I'm just like, because there's no way we can change it, right? Unless you learn from it, unless they learn from it. But then there's also,
and we got midterms coming.
I just am like, damn, this is a hard lesson you picked to learn, bruh. Like this is the worst thing. Like
hard head makes a soft
families
ass.
like upended. Oh, it's like the worst. Like it's like I don't ever wish the worst on anybody, and it's like some worst stuff happening right now.
And
like,
it's gonna get worse. It's worse now, but it's gonna get worse, more worser.
Right.
And the problem is that the people who voted the way they did, and the people who are following the great leader, are people who are following him because he is hurting people that they're either afraid of, don't like, or that they would like to hurt, and they don't understand they're the same people.
They don't have the power to hurt, but they would
and as a Latina woman, the Cubans voted for mass deportation because they thought they were only talking about the Venezuelans, the Hondurans, and the Mexicans. Yeah. And the
Venezuelans did the same thing.
The Puerto Ricans voted because they thought they were only talking about, the South Americans and and everybody thought it was not me. It was not me. That's a different kind. I've been here for a longer time, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't hear the code. They didn't hear people making jokes about mass deportation. They had signs, mass deportations. At the rallies.
92%, we heard the code because we've heard the code. We've known
the code because we know that we're next. Black people know we're next. Yeah. These are not this deportation and de-citizenship, the ability to put people in gulags, the writ of habeas corpus being gone, due process. This is a system that is being perfected for us. Yep. Practicing on you because you're a non-citizen. So everybody's looking like, well, that's not me.
Right.
So it's okay if it's them. But then they turn around and now you got American citizens getting kidnapped. You got, people who are doing it the right way. Like everybody said, well, why can't they come here the right way? Well, you know where those people are? They're at court. They're going to meeting. They're going to immigration court. They're going to meet with their lawyers and their immigration officers because that's what you do when you're doing it the right way. So why is ICE parked out in front of the courthouse and in front of the immigration buildings, finding the people who are doing it the right way instead of breaking up these gangs that everybody's talking about and these drug lords and these terrorist cells that everybody said that, these people are. We haven't found anybody, that is doing that. No. And they're just picking on the people who are the most vulnerable, who are going to put up the least fight, who are dependent upon the system for their defense. And, and that's, I think even the ICE agents are going to have to hit a point where they're like, okay, I can't keep doing this.
Like this is it's the devil's work, man. I don't even know how you sleep at night. I don't even know how they sleep at night. Like the videos I've been seeing, I don't even know how you sleep at night. Like that is insanity.
That's why they wear masks. So
if you want to go watch the Hunger Games, go watch the Hunger Games. We are living the Hunger Games, honey. Especially the ballad, that prequel they put out recently. Woo! Oh, it's just awful. Well, back to entertainment. If we had to rate Thunderbolts 1 to 10, how many bops did you give it?
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, it was.
I think it's a solid 8. It would have been an 8.5 if they hadn't done Taskmaster.
I was gonna say they lost some points on Taskmaster.
It was totally unnecessary. Don't put her in the movie. If she's not supposed to be in the movie, don't put her in the movie.
Yeah, there was like 8 other people, so it wasn't like we were gonna miss it. Like y'all gave us the list. Like y'all gave us the list. We didn't even. We would have never known. There are other people who've been bad and they're now could potentially be good that could have been in this movie and they weren't in it. So why'd y'all give us the list?
Why? Right. Why? So I give it a solid 8, but I would give it even a higher rating for viewing now that we're at this phase. This is not like just an opening weekend. Mm-hmm. Now that it's going into streaming in the next week or so, I would give it a higher rating because now people can watch it multiple times and really get a good feel for the characters and watch it multiple times. Yeah. And as always, please, if you don't have like a home theater, and if you can't build one, try to watch these movies and these shows in places where you're not multitasking. And I'm sorry, I don't want to derail the discussion, but
no,
I feel personally attached to the movie Sinners. This is probably one of the greatest movies Top 5 I've ever seen. I love every frame of this movie. And I have watched people, my folks included, try to watch this movie while doing something else, puzzles, talking with each other across the dinner table, and I'm on their phone. And I'm like, this is not a movie that you can multitask your way through. No. This is not the Teletubbies.
Every morsel of
every frame, every sound is significant. And just, people who look up when something explodes or something crazy happens and it goes back to what they're doing did not see the movie. And it's sad because we are going to go into that phase of Sinners with a casual viewer that is folding clothes while watching this movie at 3:00 in the afternoon with cats and dogs and kids running around. Are going to be the ones who come into the discussion, talking about, I saw it and, I thought it was okay. But I'm not really sure everybody's about something. I was like, and I had that conversation with my relatives on my vacation. As I started talking about the movie, they're like, "Oh, I don't remember that." I was like, "Did you watch this like in a television room, or was it just on while you were doing other stuff?" And like, I was doing other stuff. I probably need to watch it again. Like, you need to sit down, and you need to watch the movie, lock in to the best of your ability.
Yeah,
because there's nothing about this movie that can be left on the table.
I gotta give it up for the culture, because we showed up and showed out for Sinners, honey.
Didn't we?
Like
we don't do horror like that.
It was like Black Panther. I don't do horror, and I showed up and watched it opening weekend. It was like Black Panther, honey, because I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and I took my mama, and we were screaming, and we were like fussing and cussing. My mom had the nerve to try to talk through this movie, and I was like, girl, I will hit you. like you're supposed to be quiet.
We're not narrating.
Yeah. And stop asking me questions. I don't get this. Why is she asking me questions? And I'm like, I've not seen this movie. How would I know the answer? Why
would I answer in the middle of the movie?
I don't have no idea, Mom. This is my first time seeing it too. I have no idea.
For the few of you out there who, for whatever reason that I don't even want to belabor, because there's just no excuse. So shame on you. If you haven't seen the movie and you're wondering what we're talking about, there is a musical sequence in this movie. This movie is not a musical per se, but it is musical in all the ways that your favorite musical would be. Yes. Like the music from The Color Purple.
Yes.
It's not doesn't replace the dialogue, but it does tie the time and the texture. It's and the characters together. There is a scene in this movie, midway through this movie, that is perhaps the greatest sequence ever put on film.
Ever. And
every time I see it, I get tears. I get
our voice.
Yes, and I say that unqualified. I mean, I'm completely unqualifying that statement.
I'm qualified.
Every time we see that scene, it's just unbelievable scene that just embodies the heart of the film in a way that I don't know that there's ever been a sequence of film before. I mean, if you think about the sequence of, do you, John Corleone, take the Lord Jesus to be your savior? I do. Bam! Like those sequences that are super famous. Mm-hmm. We're gonna need a bigger boat. There are all these famous sequences in movie history that live on beyond the film. This one is right up there with that, and you need to see it, and you need to take the time to sit down, turn the lights off, put the kids to bed, put the dog in the pen, do whatever you got to do, turn your phone off, and lock in for 2 hours, because this movie. It's just amazing storytelling, and we did show up and show out for this movie in a way that I wasn't sure we were going to do, but
we did.
It will, if it doesn't get an Oscar, at least for the soundtrack.
We know what it is. We know what it is, and for the directing, because Ryan Coogler was doing things that haven't been done in a movie. Like they created technology to film this movie a certain way. Like, hello, that is directing the winner of the Best Picture, winner of the Best Director. Like, people who create technology to shoot a film and for you to watch. Like, come on. I don't know what best direct. What qualifies you as the best director? If you didn't create some technology, like not everybody's doing that.
And Michael B. Jordan, and you know me. I don't fault the man's acting because he's sort of a character actor in my mind.
Yeah.
And the way I usually phrase it is that Michael B. Jordan is going to Michael B. Jordan the hell out of any role you give him.
Right.
And that's kind of like an ode, like De Niro does De Niro, and Pacino does Pacino.
It's like these guys, they got it.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, this is his best on-screen portrayal of any movie he's ever done, and Killmonger included. Playing these twins, and you will forget that these are one person.
Hold up, my mom thought it was a set of twins, and I go, Mom, it's Michael B. Jordan. It's only one guy. She goes, what? She had no idea. She thought he had a twin brother.
Yes, and if you have any sense of music, the blues roots and the times that this movie was made in 1932, this pre-Jim Crow going into the Depression, people picking cotton, and I mean, you learn as much about the blues and music and culture and history and the texture and the feel of the era.
A history lesson.
And the vampire story is a backdrop. It's there, but so much of this movie is great, even beyond that. And everyone's performances. I
feel like I'm going to church. Everything you're saying, I'm like, amen.
You just can't.
It's that emotional.
It's that emotional, and the soundtrack and the score just carry this film. I mean, like, again, goosebumps and tears every time. I've seen it 5 times in the theater, twice digitally, and every time I see it, it's the same effect, and that's great.
Good.
That's great.
And you know what? Like, I wonder, like I just like, you think about Ryan Coogler, and it's like, how does his mind work? Like, how is this, like, it's beyond as a creator, as a writer, as a director, like, his imagination and his abilities are beyond. Like, it's like, wow, how is this even possible? Like,
he cares, and he works hard. He does his research. He immerses himself in every film that he does, and he immerses his film in whatever genre. He said he spent like $1 million on consultants. Like, who's the person that's going to be the consultant on the history of, the way stores were set up on either side of the street? There's a whole side of the street,
a white side, and
then there's a whole and the Asian store had 2 stores on either side of the street, and one was kind of janky and one was kind of nice, and they ran both of them.
I never even
and that was real history.
Like,
didn't
who
know.
knew? I mean,
costume design, music, the stories of the era, just where people were and how the world looked. Even talking with the vampire Remick, he's one of the top vampires, like, next to my guy Tom Cruise playing Lestat. Like, he's right up there with playing this character who code switches between old Gaelic accent, from his home country 1,000 years ago, to folksy country guy when he's trying to convince people to do stuff and be all twangy and stuff. And just watching him, so if you haven't seen it, again, shame on you.
You know what you do?
But you got to go see it.
This has inspired me because right now we've done a love letter to Marvel, where we talked about our favorite Marvel projects, and we need to do a love letter to Ryan Coogler. Like, we really need to talk about his movies, we just need to go through it and just, like, spend an episode or 2. It might have to be a 2-parter for us, and we call in some of our friends to co-host with us. That. And we just yeah, we're going to do that. That's coming, boppers, because we have got to, like, we got to give it up. Like,
give this man his flowers before he hits his 40s.
Now.
He's not in his 40s yet.
I'm going to call everybody I know just to make sure he watches it, because he needs to know how much we love and appreciate him. Like, period, point blank. So that is coming soon. We're going to figure, and we need a cast of experts. Like maybe you bring a friend and I bring a friend and we go in deep and we just have a
people
good
who
old
work
time
with them on something, or people who are expert in the genre, something like that. I think we can make some cool stuff happen.
We can make something happen. Yes. Put a pin in it. Okay, guys, that's the end of this episode. We done did it. I know. It's crazy. We talked about so much. So if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, go watch it. If you haven't seen Daredevil, go watch it. If you haven't seen Ironheart, go watch it. And if you haven't seen Sinners, shame on you. You need to go watch it. It's on HBO Max now, so it's even easier to watch. But if you're able, like he said, if you're able to see it with a surround sound and home theater, like I know somebody who's got a really good home theater, watch it. And don't be distracted. Like literally give yourself a movie night. We're going to the movies at home and watch it the way it should be watched. It's so good. It's beyond. And gosh, we love it. So guys, from the BOP, we love you. We mean it. Bye.
Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of The BOP, the Blurred Official Podcast.